This is my father. He was a private in the Army in World War II.
This is Sergeant Richard Spade, who's my grandfather.
This is my daughter, Alexa Fulmer. She's private first class in the Army.
This is my dad, David Yan. He served in the U.S. Navy in World War II and the Korean War.
This is my dad, Jack Mason. He was a Specialist 5 in the Army during the Vietnam era.
My name is David Walters. My dad is also David Walters. He served in the Air Force in the 60s.
This is a picture of my Uncle Robert Cherico. He served in the Marines during the Vietnam War.
And this is my grandfather. He was a private in the Army in World War I.
I'd like to thank my brother, Justin, and my stepbrother, Curtis, for their service.
Thank you, Uncle Paul, for serving our country so well for 30 years.
He tells a story when they had their first shakedown, how when he was manning his gun, the gun behind him went off track and a bullet whizzed past him, and the next day he asked for a transfer to another position.
My grandfather was a sergeant with the U.S. Army Engineers and served in Italy and Germany, rebuilding bridges and towns after the war.
Curtis served overseas with the U.S. Marine Corps, servicing helicopters in the desert.
He was in the 35th Engineers for the Army. His job was to work on the railroad cars and to keep the supply lines open to the front and back.
He accepted the bodies. He would comfort the families, and I know he received many letters thanking them for protecting their son and for bringing him home.
Justin did one tour in Afghanistan where he was a sensory operator on MC-12s.
He felt a duty to country and to serve others.
The reason I think my uncle served was his passion for America and wanting to protect the freedom for his family.
My grandfather has always been generous, and him serving was just one more way that he could be generous to his country, to his fellow countrymen, and to even those that were ravaged by the war.
Their sacrifice in just being willing to lay down their life just is monumental to me.
She decided to give up her freedom for ours. I'm very proud of her for that.
He's a hero, and he's a hero to all of us.
I'm proud of both of my brothers for the times that they have served. They're willing to sacrifice their time, their prime years, and potentially even their life so that I can have the freedom that I do as an American.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What they do makes a difference for all of us and their families.